Hey everybody, this is Andrew and welcome back to another Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are finishing this case. This is the finale of this case of the Great Ace Attorney to resolve. The case is the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yeah, I apologize because last night there was VGA award, so I did not get to stream tonight. Yesterday, so today we're going to finish this case. But I'm only going to do it in 3 parts. So hopefully some parts are good, some parts are manageable. But anyways, without further ado, let's start. So, without further ado, let's resume the case. This is the Great Ace Attorney to resolve. The resolve of the Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. 3rd November, 9:14 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. So, the time finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Susato. Miss Susato? Ow! Oh, not again! Ow. Oh no, what's the matter? You could at least do that to your father, not me. Nothing. I was just saying that we like on your support today, but I think I trust what your sister does. So sorry. I know it will be rather inappropriate at times, but I shan't let you down. Would you mind helping me back my printer? Oh dear, I'm really sorry. Susato's son isn't her usual self at all, but that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She just found out that her father is the partner of the world-famous detective, not to mention. Good morning, sir. Lord Van Zeeks. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zeek isn't the Reaper, Miss Naruhodo. A good point. The Reaper, I suppose, in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed the misconcept to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my taxi acceptance of the pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that lead to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeeks. It only because serious crimes in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure there was a source. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by the evil killer clings resentful to relentless spirit returned as some sort of demigod to wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the Lord, could not. Yes, we've heard of that story too. When I lost him, I felt as though I lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keen. even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an overly imaginative puppet. He was obviously extremely important to you. What clean fancies? Well, that's what's important is now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life, and I intend to put that beyond a shadow of doubt without meaning to it. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see in your eyes that burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris, when did you get here? Oh, I brought you one of my special blends. Curly loves it. He said it helps you to clear his head. I thank you. Oh, That's surely the first and last time I ever seen a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Sort of subdued, I suppose. I'm not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on my mind. She clearly is very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Scholar Science laboratory. Already then? Good luck with you. I have to make one move now. Oh, you're not staying? I thought you wanted to watch today's proceedings. Well, I like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes. Would you take this? Isn't it one of those little folk dolls that usually hang from your knapsack? Yes, it's a lucky charm, a little hurley that I made once. A hurley. It looks more like a hurley to me. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just put this little hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. What? Hurley's ears? That's right, it's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. So it's more like a lucky charm question? I heard rabbits would bite. Yes? Question blah blah blah. You think we need all the luck? You think all we need is luck? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seems very different to normal. Yeah, I can't blame her for it. You think what we need is luck? Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to put out all the stops. No, I think it means... yeah, I think I know who he's referring to. Second. Seems so. Okay, sorry about it, guys. A certain someone had decided. What does that mean? Oh, sorry, what did you do? Oh, but Mr. Holmes, Iris. I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come back home by the time I left this morning. Oh, he still go out with Miko Toba. Oh, I see. Was Professor Miko Toba out all night, do you think, Mr. Suzuka? Yes, it would seem so. I telephoned the hotel this morning, and apparently they didn't come back into their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Judge Jigoku too? That's right. Nobody appeared to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel of the defense and the defendant. Count is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the throne room at once. Good luck to you, good luck, Suzy. Yes, thanks, Cyrus. And you, Mr. Reaper, I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. We might go inside now, Lord Benzix. Also, if anyone is watching this channel, give a like if you like this. If you like this gameplay, give a like and subscribe. Sorry, give a like and subscribe. I'll be doing other games later after this game is finished, but you'll see. Because I realized there was another game coming that really came out yesterday, so there'll be something about the Christmas special on Christmas in my time zone. So watch. Look forward to it. Lord Benzi has always been the former prosecutor that I have locked once in this court. But not today. Today, I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend Kazuma Asogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what is it that drew me here in between all those months again. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me, and all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Third November, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey. Where's the judge? I feel even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Mr. Apple, look! What the Lord Strongheart? Oh god. Is this the one that you mentioned that Kazuma must have known beforehand? The ramification of this trial extends far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events that can come to light that threaten the rock of very foundation of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of a man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jail. Britain is currently holding influence in members of the judiciary of countries all over the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. I already agree this will continue to be a close trial, and one over which I, Male Strongheart, exercise totally and unequivalent authority. The flames... What the... The sixth jewel flame just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial proceedings. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Benzix. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent, much like your brother Clint. In fact, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be session for the trial of the Baron 6, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsel for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light of a shocking and disturbing fact. There was sight to the victim, Inspector Twice Grayson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out an operation in secret which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Daily Vigil, who will be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the captain in order to establish his credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appears to be carrying out his regular corporate work when in fact he wasn't. In the end of yesterday's season, Mr. Vigil, who has been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories for the time deep inside him as a means of self-preservation. Because while he was engaged as a chief warden at Barclay prison, he agreed that the convicts escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Simmons. He's recovering enough to give them a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson while investigating the red-headed leader. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was basically lodged on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch has not been worn. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Oh, a prosecutor also I met once again with the coroner as they discussed the issue. She confirmed that the defense suggestion could not have been ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated the autopsy report that included amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday that the time of death was 5 p.m. on 1st November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's all of the question. There are no refrigerating devices in London large enough to accommodate the human cause. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, we will give real significance to the movement of the victim of the day before the Francis Street incident. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using his religious cover up his real movement. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Coincidence that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities. Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating the precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the result of that investigation. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Who? Gina Lestrade. State your name and occupation for the call. Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting with citizens of Scotland Yard. The self-corner. Right, but never mind. Gina, again. What's your problem, Otto? What's with that Gina again? The boss meant the waterman. It done more than anyone else ever did. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean? He got me out of the back slum of his son and took me under his wing. Taught me the light I can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing there with speaking on him. Oh, Gina. Right. Of all the goodness of Gregson's heart, or he have his arm twisted by Mr. Holmes. Oh. Anyways, what's relevant is specifically that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigation to yesterday. Let's review that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about it. Very trouble. That's face. Lord Stronghart knew. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what is said in the report. Coming right up, sir. All the other detectives are supposed to be following an order and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had Lola's secret meeting in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggling goods dealing that day. Not saying it was a big job at all, but the coppers weren't on in that year. What's the matter is, there is witness what saw the Reaper at the place too. Smuggle goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicine, goods of all sorts flows into London by illegal channel from the coast of Europe. It's well known by that it's posted at the regular black market that takes place in China. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that a higher-rank governmental officials may be involved in the black market. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid the details of investigating being linked into the involved parties. That will explain why he was operating his own hotel, not the yard's knowledge. Not the yard's knowledge, right? How do we know where the dealing would take place at the time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club, and on that day in question. The accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation through the map. That can't be! We haven't ever heard of that. Not me anything like this. Members of class have satisfied it. There's no question. The accused, Barrel 16, was present. That would be very significant testimony then. Oh my god, but Lord Fancy had made no mention of this at all. In short, Lord Fancy had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then. Counsel the defense. Begin your cross-examination. Alright. So I think we just start pressing to see if there's any new leads. So at least we can know what we should do. So hold it! So you follow all these leads, you know? Nah, not me. I will for all that, see? Oh? The boss always had special orders for me. Grab out some fish and chips, go and give Toby his grub, that kind of thing. So, having small and orders and this detective is still a practice after all. Yeah, well, this apprentice can want to sit around and wait to be told what to do even by the boss. That's what I've been doing me an own investigation of what happened. I didn't find much of this. Hold it! So, you went through the Inspector Gregson's things. Yep, as part of this practice has been pending Litt's trust investigation. I'm sure your superiors will be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was around. Cause if anyone in the yard has been seen going there, they have told me straight out the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the murder. You got it right, nothing is just past Inspector Sun and a trusty assistant chief inspector told me. Before it ate one of the test choppers and it had a false bottom. That's impressive! So then I went through it myself where no one could find me so I could have the butcher and what's written and sorts of anyone at the yard had found me out and they have to tough off straight down the street. I can put it in now, and it will work for me, it will have never been found. Hold it! Do you have an idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep, it was all day in the boss's note. Let's see if I can remember. As I already stated, the legal dealings were due to taking place at the General's Club. Yes, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the names of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution have been asked not to reveal the names of these proceedings. I don't know what to fuss about. It's right here. All I've got to do is read out. I could do it too. I got the reading game buttoned up now. Can I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do? Well, I insist. This is a closed call. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. Also explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is roughly exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Cosimo, there's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market people. However, it has not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Right then, I get to show off my reading skills. Apparently the smuggler crystals or the gross. Apparently the chief. Hold it! The gross? What sort of club is that? I ain't got the foggiest. Perhaps I didn't match my team, but I kinda curious. There are no places where forces like you would be really admitted. Have you ever looked at the man recently? I'll tell you what, me and the chief inspector could go undercover. Could you, though? I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in it. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that was where the black market dealings were going to take place, isn't it? Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower rank detectives at the yard reckon. Say the even lower ranking detective. Hold on. Take a picture of a couple as well. They gross. I'm wondering if my... No, not this one. Wait, this is dismissal mode. Well, I still got... Oh, what about the crate here? This one. Wait, what? Have you seen this huge gash around the side of the truck? It's gone right through the leather and the metal beam. Gosh, a metal chest like that has been so badly damaged. Look at that. Maybe that has struck the side of the trunk. I wonder how it happened. Let's have a look inside. Look, there's something inside. Oh, let's see. It happened to be a passport, notoriously travel overseas. I suspect Gregson would go through. What you might tell us something. That was... What is it? It was for 31st October, just one day before the incident. Really? Yeah, this is the one I think I read it earlier. And then there's a blood. Sorry, I think I pressed wrongly. Yeah, this is fish and chips. Yeah, it's more like tomato sauce, man. But I haven't checked this one. Name: Tobias Gregson, passport number ACB0522, dated departure 181 from 1st October. For the kid. Okay. I remember that. Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. Oh, gross! I remember there was gross, but I'd forgotten where it came from. Yeah, it was from here. My wallet, so pick this up, yeah, so that's just good, so that's where it comes from. Okay, before I do anything, just in case if I screwed up. When you mean gross, you mean this one, right?
Objection!
Oh, there we go, okay. I read about the clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they are places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreigner like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealing will definitely happen at the club called The Gross? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definite yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean, that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on 31st October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very relevant attitude towards our country's police forced their counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what it was? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it here. Let me see that. This dog suited young man is not suited, at least a bit untrustworthy. Yeah, I decided, my lord. Be more for saving us time. I know this. This will be a bit to be taken for passage upon a steamship, yes. But SS Rose?
Objection!
So there's a steamship named the Grouse that happened to be shared the name of the club. But I'm afraid to say there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at Port of Dover is on 1st November. The day was on which the sound like a gunshot was heard at Ryunosuke. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission, the ship had then docked on British shores. That would be clearly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection!
The fact that the steamship hadn't reached Britain, substantially the defense assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Gold was on the day in question. Then show your evidence for the assertion. Very well. In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence in court. Evidence that substantially your claim that the victim was investigating SS Gold. Oh, I got this one.
Take that!
The passport. What's this? A passport for travel issues with the victim? Dated 31st October. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before SS brought Gregson at Dover, he docked on the northern coast of France at one night. According to my father, who was on board, at the port of Durkins, France, what could possibly have been taking the victim there? I'm impressed, Mr. Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean you knew about this? The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealing at London's club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigation, and the line of the prosecution had been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. What? And now you expertly disproven the assertion. I intend to reveal what I believe is something to me. What are you playing at, prosecutor Asugi? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all facts with exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to steamship dock in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper? Order! What on are you trying to say, counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. And I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. In reality, the truth is in the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was in fact acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Bravo 16 never carried out any of the actual killings. Whether the Reaper victims lost their lives, Lois had a cast iron island. Which tells us that he must have been an accomplice. And you claim that was impacting Gregson. What What the hell are you two saying, eh? My boss would never do nothing on it. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. No, it can't be. We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Even so, there's no way that the person giving his orders was Lord Van Zeeks. No, a true Reaper is somebody else. Van Zeeks is not the Reaper. A predictable response for someone who's advocating for him. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Ghost on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. Oh, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard the steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku were on that ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain you would have heard about it. What's so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicion is that were reported on board the ship, but I think perhaps you missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the SS World that night with the intention of smashing his mind. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hadn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gina Lester. Eh? What? The victim's notebook that you read has an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigation at all. It described 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying! Even all that them bludgeons what taken all that coming, the boss won't be the Reaper to achieve. There's no question that Tobias was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be uncredited, but if you spend any time at all around, you must have heard rumors. I know nothing, I don't believe the word. I testify again as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider your chance to defend your boss. I don't... I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you knew about Inspector Grayson's secret notebook. Ah, poor girl. I said poor girl. Yes, this note was. Us have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got in the past 10 years. Named all victims, date and place and stuff. And the last entry there was 31st October. This is close for the place and date, and then the name of the mark. There's a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in the court 10 years ago or something. Honest, the book didn't do none. It was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. I still say poor girl. Keep personal opinions out of your testimony witnesses. With this, we require only established fact here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What can I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That information that the victim could only know if he was working with the Reaper. Ah! So, who was this to be the final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade, read the name for the court. The name is written alongside the entry that mentions the ghost on 31st October. Eh? Oh, how do you read this then? Reading still not a strong suit. That ain't the problem, alright, although I can hear you. It's a funny name, in English it's hard to read. So is someone from overseas? Let me have a pass at it. It says Seishiro Jigoku. Yeah, Seishiro Jigoku. Maybe? Shit. It can't Seishiro Jigoku? But that's Judge Jigoku. Seishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name.
Objection!
That can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku and I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. So I know the fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh, Gregson missed his chance to kill his mom and returned to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused. Everyone sees it's an enjoyable logical argument. Husband, you planned or will try to go this way all along.
Hold it!
What? Benzix? What the f- Ooh, the leg! Pray forgiveness that caused me to feel my hell childs whilst I stand accused for murder. Lord Van Zee? The accused had no right to speak uninvited in the court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether I'm not the Reaper. The task of this court is to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocal. Oh, the girl is no detective. Eh? What? Nah, that's right. I ain't an inspector. That's not the point. Repeating rumors heard around the yard, reading entries from a noble of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony. It's practically a script. No doubt the rest of the trial will go exactly where you actually planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper who sent your father to the gallows at all these years. But you are in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. I attempted to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for my testimony. What do you say? Miss Naruhodo, this is our chance. My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witnesses. Very well. I make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Back to my cousin. Then allow me to toast the court in partiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. And by the way, where the hell are you allowed to get a drink there? Sorry about it. The bailiff just poured me a drink also I'm thirsty, so I asked him to bring some of my child's grass here. Oh, god damn it. Anyways, counsel the defense. Begin your customization immediately. At once, my lords. I can see why. You know, I should not have authorized for that drinking thing, but I should do that thing. Okay, well, it's back to pressing further and see how things goes.
Hold it!
Okay. In other words, it showed that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you at all. There ain't only been exception, is it? You know, of course, they've been investigating the Reaper in secret, and the noble says what we found out. If I may, when originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I did not check. I believe the power to intimidate honest criminal classes in compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carry out your own investigation to the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What are you on about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of the game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on onward. The Reaper is an organization, with you at its head. I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movement, letting me know when he was elsewhere, so I'd be able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it says Grouse? believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club. I went there on the day in question to investigate, alone. Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France. I've shown his passport found in the victim's metal Hold on! How the hell you know about the metal trunk? Very well then. Back to your testimony about the contents of the note. Fine. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seem a little shocked by something unmemorable. Oh, no, it's alright. Put the fingers, aren't I? No, you're not. How the hell do you know about the trunk? Did he not mention this? Because if he says on the back, maybe it could be unstable, but he says that, so that's impossible.
Hold it!
Okay, I think we have to press further to see if we can get to it, but don't take it. Name of victim, date and place stuff. What in particular? Well, besides the victim's name, this other name kept popping up. What other names that was? It's the one I told you yesterday, the same name written over and over again. You mean assassin? Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours, of your summer, is she? No, she's... Were you even listening yesterday? She... Assassin. The assassin? What? Like a killer, you mean? Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the monks thoroughly, finding out where they would be vulnerable and who to use to get there then. The producer actually executing his plans was someone else, you see. If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organization group of vigilantes. Then perhaps what it says on passport document, permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel, could that additional person have been clearly the assassin who was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life? Gina, can you confirm that against the final entry that listed Gregson and Seishiro Jigoku, what name was written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it as it happened. What? It just had like a question mark somewhere like there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin then, in that case. Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? Oh, infuriating. A nameless assassin.
Hold it!
And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku. That's what it said. Funny name, you asked me. And I thought your name was odd. Oh, excuse me. Pleased to have lost my crown then. Mr. Jigoku is presiding judge of Japanese Supreme Court of Jurisdiction. I remember the man. You came to our country as a civilian student 16 years ago. Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage last time. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, after that fateful case. Precisely. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook. I didn't think it was possible, but the note in here got even worse. Maybe I just keep talking. There was no note about him.
Hold it!
What do you mean, criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal. Oh, don't ask me, I know nothing about it. Oh, you remember what father told us? The Judge Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain? It was related to the professor case in Britain. Yes, of course. You're right. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the resistance. He also said something contemptuous words about British Empire for which he was charged. Oops. It was a pitiful situation, yes. I forgot about it, but I prosecuted the trial too as it happened. You did? It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor's proceeding, you see, but it was acquainted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hadn't forgotten his own rule? That there's no saving anyone who's faced the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Jigoku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after the trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then 10 years later, the monk returned to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd. To take someone's life like that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper's absurd killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly, the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. But... Oh, Jackson, come on! I had it just about this. Gina. All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people is clobberbs. Come on, Oil. Yes. Why didn't you say nothing? Why? Why aren't you yelling out objection or something? You gotta find a flaw. You usually do. Someone's lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. Please. For the boss. Yeah, I think I know who, but I don't have a way to say that it was Masogi at this point. That outburst was insulted to court at your own testimony. I might have to know that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make the detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Mr. Lestrade. Is that clear? I had it with you lots of issues. The light even blind place your luck in this world. I had enough. Gina. So I have, and after the speech of Gina's, I made up my mind. To do what, Mr. Naruhodo? There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was just said that didn't sit right with me. One statement that this seems odd. Oh, do you mean? I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears.
Hold it!
I wanted to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. Eh? What do you mean? Amongst everything we heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Really, Honor? I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by...
Take that!
How do you know about the trunk? By you, Kazuma Sogi. Me? Is this something attempt at filibustering counsel? Prosecutor Sogi has given no testimony. Why are you suggesting I said there was inconsistency? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the irrelevant piece of evidence, I imagine you realize what you've done. Very well then, counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals the alleged inconsistency that something that Prosecutor Asoge said? Yeah, this one.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belongs to Inspector Gregson. A metal construction it is. It's definitely very heavy. What's this? A bloodstain and a relevant fresh one too? What? You mean the eating grease from all the boss's fish and chips? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk. So sorry, I just need the money, okay? Come on. Happy to sell it. But I found it, me with the nose of the trouble. Well, you know what I want to say about taking away your license? Yeah? Forget about it. Scratch that anyway. Forget what I said. Which means that nobody should have known about this trunk. Unless, of course, we are talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said because at the time he was making his way to the steamship dock on the northern coast of France, and shown by this passport found in the victim's metal trunk. So, the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know that the man went on a trip to France. Where else did he put his passport?
Objection!
But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board of SS Gross. Is that the answer you were looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... You were with him? You were with Gregson? I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on ship, then it could only be one purpose. Oh no, Miss Naru, surely you don't think... Come on now, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. There's the only thing that really talks in the court is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he tried. So as it stands, you've proven nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubts? That you were there the day in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson? There's a clue that you overlooked, a secret that the trunk can tell us. You can be sure that at this point I need to verify it. I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless we must test it. The defense will identify the court where in this trunk this illusion could have been found. Where is the evidence that also would have? Let's try to... Wait. I didn't notice this one here. You see that? There's something stuck inside the side of the trunk there. It's glinting. It looks like a fragment of a mouse. We're so tight that I can't remove it. Don't cut yourself, you better leave it, I think. Yeah, I didn't see this one.
Got it!
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of the blade. Eh? A blade? Kazuma, slung all around your waist as ever today, is the steam blade Karuma. Of course it is. Won't you draw it here in this courtroom for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff, watch prosecutor Osoge like a hawk. That won't be necessary. Oh my god. That's the... Oh no! The tip is broken? If the fragment of the mantle from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed, Kazuma Sugi? Oh my god, it's not you. Explicitly done, Ryunosuke. That's the point. That's a point to you and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Ryunosuke Sugi? Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Tokyo. ordered to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the monk. What? You mean you're the killer? You're the killer whose name was omitted from the notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Jigoku? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Turkey. I never had any intention to carry out the plan. You were never going to do it? You can believe Kazuma-san, I'm sure. After all, Judge Jigoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Cross and made for the cabin deck as indicated in the plan. You went to Judge Jigoku's cabin? Exactly. He wasn't there though. We decided to wait by. But you already told us that you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at the boarding house in the town and returned in with the following morning. A boarding house? In Turkey? My signature would be in the registered book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the monk was spawned. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened that after. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. Oh, I miss my fish and chips! Oh, where is it? He met with the Reaper in the room of Francis to operate. Hey there! I'm sorry. Oh, damn it! I was in the infuriated Massimo to pull the trigger. Damn it! And then he's actually like in his life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Grayson's work.
Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claimed, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the Inspector's trunk? I don't need to answer that. Huh? The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of Japanese blade is irrelevant in the case, and accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on the matter. Be as that may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. We must take immediate action now. Just give me a second. Karma, the Great Blade. It's such a thing of beating, so I want to gaze it for hours. The tip of the great sword, broken. It's such a shame it's been so meticulous care over the years. I can almost hear Karma's soul. Kazuma was really taking a swing for that happen. Nothing inside here. Nothing to check here. To verify whether Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed. What? Remain unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Jigoku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power to influence to give orders from the inside of the prisons. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? Let me take a drink first. Now, whatever. If I were truly the Reaper, I would be able to tell. Order in the court, order. We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now, guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst. Oh no, not Judge Jigoku. No one wants to kill a harmless Japanese man who only just arrived in the country. Except that is, for the Reaper wanting to finish the mock simply that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruto, for the event's sake, my lord, I sincerely hope we are successful. If we are unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's health existence in the next 30 minutes, we will face great difficulty. No, the worry is not your attorney right is the case itself. So yeah. Call decision for 30 minutes. Come on, now I start to take a what? Kazuma-sama, it's the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful had happened to Judge Ikogo, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I feel that from the moment I stepped into the courtroom house this morning. That strange sensation that we were carrying towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Actually, there's maybe one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear, of course. The little Mr. Holmes doll that Iris gave us. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the short play, then just do this little earliest here. This enhancing capacity. Ah, quite clever. Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Bull Halisia or not? Bull! Here goes then. I'm going to do it. Good luck, Miss Naruto. No looking back. Eeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeee Mr. Holmes. Ow. Mr. Holmes, where are you? Here, my dear fellow. Here. Ow. It's the fellow talking? Put the in again as hard as you can. Alright then, I'll put all my strength onto nerve. Ow. Please, my dear fellow, you don't need to pull my ear off. Ow. So, where are you now? Myself and my trusty partner are placed simply in the first class cabin area of the SS Rosie. The SS Ghost, she left over last night after the final piece of cargo were loaded. We're currently docked at Durkin, but due to the underway again in half an hour, you've taken the ship to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port. In order to board this vessel in time. So, you mean you already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place? Mr. No, wait, what's my name? Sherlock Holmes, world famous detective. You said to perfection, well done. I'm glad you didn't put a so young judging himself, that's one I. Ow. Mr. Gentle with the genius ear, please. Oh my, I'm very sorry. If my Mary Holmes, it must be Mikotoba. Yep. Wow, that's some static on that dog. Ah, there you Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact that I will make the connection with the SS Browsing, not you. Let's apologize yesterday when we examined the notebook and on my steamship ticket. But of course it was my detour. Not once did I controvert the fact. I merely had our court bond from bandits out of my name. As you did. We just enter. Sorry. Nice. We just enter a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we are unable to present any new list, then I'm afraid to say, do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt that we shall have welcome news for you within the hour. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. That will be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes! You'll be hearing from us when you're not in touch first. Shan't be hearing anything if you keep talking in my ear, then mind discretion. Whatever was that idea behind making a receiver operator in that way in the first place, Holmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's Isaac's invention, not mine. Yeah, whatever. Good punishment. Hey! Anyways, whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the Howard Jones, we have to about half that now before the girls put to sea again. If we don't conclude that our investigation rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. Wait, isn't that the same guy from Case 2? What's his name again? Beef Stroganoff or something? First Class Cabin 2, yes, that's the one. I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be insane. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry looking fellow. Why you are not telling here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you recognize the world famous detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize what the leveling glade says it's chicken strong enough when you see glade detective? I do think so. Oh, so Beef and you are not related, okay. Wait, Beef and you are related, like great detectives. Chicken. Do you see that, Miss Kotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Holmes. So, goodness me, is that a tattoo? They say Holmes. I must say, for such a dog racing is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave now! How distressing, my lawyer devoted to know me only by the name and not appearance. Yet I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe, like yourself. He's a shipman, certainly traveling around the world aboard the Russian steamship. How do you do this? Eminently, my dear Mikatova. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I bounded on for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with his name aboard, but we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. You mean Easterman? He left ship 2 hours ago here in Dunkirk. He said something about emergency ID. What? Are you sure? So Seishiro realized they were after him. His cabin is from behind you. Sure? I'd like to have him escape, please. No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside. You're good. I enjoy this sailor sensational with you. This is an excuse that he released the area. Does it Glade detect the sea that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Cuz the plan is ruined. And you have yourself only to blame, my friends, Holmes. I told you not to talk so loudly. Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even I am not here. You cannot get inside. Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my specialty, haven't you? Opening any locks? Within the few 5 seconds, if you'd be so kind to afford what this is your time, old friend, in your typical accommodating manner. How could I refuse to such a typical unappealing request, old friend? Wait, you really doing it? So we need to suck the body says it for 5 seconds, yeah? Good man, so the game is afoot. The game is afoot. Okay, so how the hell am I supposed to get that guy? He's like a neon temple guarding statue, that fellow. The way he's glaring is obviously. Tell me, why is standing guard in the cabinet? Tell me, why is standing guard here if the cabin is unopened? Because these aliens only for first class passengers. We must look out for suspicious criminals. He was looking straight at me when he said that. My dear fellow, as you can plainly see, we are quite unsuspicious as criminals go. Yes, but you tell this kind of nonsense to make me get out there, remember? But still criminals. No. For goodness sakes, Holmes, help this man. We neither suspicious or criminals. Damn, I'm so Ryunosuke all of a sudden. Yes, what kind of uncomfortable? Because the seaman is far able to go good. Yes, thank you for your compliment, but still, you're not getting it. He's extremely careful what to say. One of us dog be. This must be a mouse trap, I think. Looks like we distracted my attention with somehow. Nah, I don't think it was possible. No, I think not. That would never work surely. I need to consult another section. What's this one here? Ah, the switch for the electrical light. Obviously, if we were to turn off the lights, the crewman wouldn't be able to see what we're doing. Flick the switch! Oh! What is happening? Red light! Now, Holmes, now! Click. Nobody there. That was a close shave. What the heck you have? Stumbling so violent. Be quiet. Do be quiet, Holmes. I shall take another approach. Okay, let's try this out. There would be a pretty bit longer. All hell will break loose if that thing were to rain. The whole crew will know about it. Set it off? Here you go then. Pardon me in advance. Room service! You! What are you doing? For me, I see there will be a very bad problem. What's going on down there? Seamus Dongra, report once. Sorry sir, nothing to report. It was just stupid killing. No, not by me. Nobody will open the door, as I told you. Now Holmes, now. Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't just stand up to my goodness, because here we go. Oh, yes. Third November, SS Rosie, first class cabin. This place is really ransacked. Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather early. Those clothes on the floor there, they're Seishiro's without question. Well, it seems we are just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should be investigating thoroughly. There may be about 2 hours worth of clues to find it here. But the boy crewman may return in a moment, Holmes. Indeed he may. Which makes this all more thrilling. Yeah, better do it. What's this? This is beginning to be looked, though it's been stopped by some car. So the voice of the crewman on the bridge on an annoyance, I suppose. Indeed. So the voice in the cabin unheard as well. Could something happen here, therefore no one else is here, do you think? Either that or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. That's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Okay, room service. According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asori's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was the similar size in this one. Ah, you must have climbed inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? What a thought! What's the sight of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo? You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This one take over. No, screw you, Holmes. You certainly can't just tell me to go and say that. You know how I am, okay? Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to read the story for you. I think I just read about the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Thank you very much, but no thanks. What is basic glass, can I say? See here how it is. Is something wrong, Holmes? You suddenly trail off. Ice, Mikotoba, ice. What opulent the first class passenger enjoyed. Children. Pardon? Could it be that this symmetry is equipped with an electricity refrigerator cold room, do you think? Well, it's a luxury layers after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish products in it. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotoba. The sight of you is making my mouth. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. This is the waste paper basket. Look, and there's still rubbish inside. Indeed, and then let's pry. I discovered that recently I have a penchant for exploring the concepts of others with diversity. I sincerely hope for your only good. Here we are, we noticed issuing passage from 3 days ago. 3 days ago, the night before we arrived in London, when I still upon myself. Evacuation drill notice, 31st October, following the departure from the Calcutta. Ah yes, there was an evacuation drill, I remember now. Shit, I don't think I could. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watch of the crew, so it was a welcome relief to have some privacy. Under this, I can present. I'll check it later after this. There are rules of passengers. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishment of stowing away in wardrobes and all travel cases. I feel the rules have increased since I last read. Hopefully just my imagination. What about the fact they are not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? Maybe right. Probably just for your imagination though. A trifle. And you know what I was saying about? There is nothing but trifles. It's probably just my imagination. I'll take that, my Mr. Golf. That's a very cyber-strong thing. Seishiro was passing all things large. A rather clumsy fellow. If he fails to notice, he left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still hinders to a speedy escape. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different though. Sadly, it has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in the morose enough to work through all combinations at present. There's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirt, Indian dressing gown. Momohiko work trousers, a tanzan robe, a haramaki waistband. Clearly this clothes of a Japanese man. And clearly a Japanese man are accustomed to the culture of the world. It looks to me that being thrown into a heap like that in some of the home. Indeed, you could have yourself into a Japanese man shirt, perhaps. I'm sure you made mention to a packing too few. I'm very likely drowned in one of Seishiro's shirts. No, I just buy an extra just like that. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyage. I found the mixture of classic literatures and easy reading to be most satisfactory. Whoever stocked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellow. I'm afraid it's just me. But no, you're quite right. More blasphemy than overlooking the Bible. I shall leave the copy behind. I just happen to have one here. You're a true missionary of the Church of the Great Detective, aren't you? The wall is slightly different color than you do see. Indeed, but you have observed her eyes for one thing that had been hanging for some time. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now, there's a bold deduction worthy of a great deal, for sure. He may be very well be elusively thief who have been playing with friends the other late. I think perhaps we should forego our touch at such homes. Do you? That's outline on the wall. I feel as though I must put something of a similar shape size as well. You mean this one here? Oh god damn it. You! You are still here! Able seaman strong on an alloy again? Oh good. I was beginning to think you would never materialize. You are waiting for me? Of course. I was expecting you to burst in with hardly Russian profanities as well. I was in trouble with Captain because of the you played before, you piece of shit. Oh, innocent chicken. It's all your fault. Zip are leaving for to get on now. Of course, we shall do some present, my dear fellow. But first, there's something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunk of your deceit and the bearing of the truth. Kakoi! I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not left this vessel empty. Hey, Miss Naruhodo. Sorry, I need to borrow your theme music or... Dun, dun, dun. And for another, my dear seaman strong enough. You know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you? Well, how can you... Good gracious, Holmes. You mean you worked on all of it? It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. Let's dance. What is this? What the? We have got minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Time is all of essence. Oh, Mr. Stronger, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku has left the ship some 2 hours ago. Duh, that is what I said. Sadly, that was rather clumsy. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you noted it too, because I want to please do take the lead. What is in this cabin show that the possibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? Let's see the last 3 years you have done your observation skills then, Kodomo. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since we last did this home, not 3. Why, of course it has. Quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I was saying, you must not merely look, but observe, and the answer becomes clear. So, impressive. I think I managed that. Yeah, the eyes.
Take that!
Hey, you got some moves. Oh yeah. Yeah. Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. I'm curious that the eyes shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Oh. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before. Oh shit. With this. Oh shit. Hold on, sorry. I think I missed that. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With his well-chilled glass in hand. Get off your mind on the refreshment, Holmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Would you agree, Mr. Strong enough? Why would Seishiro run from us? Before you consider the question, allow me to confirm once more that would it be correct saying that the first class cabin of the SS Gregson are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage on Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door and Seishiro was, yes, 50 days in this cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku has. What traces? I know nothing about these. Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Holmes, what exactly again? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activities, something that appears obvious, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. I'll place it here. That's the key to this, Mr. Godoba. The remnants of these dark deeds took place here are being mastered. It's quite incongruous. I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of abduction with you again, Mr. Godoba. No, but life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. I don't want to keep this a secret from my daughter and someone else, so please do not post it or write it down. Now let's see if I can accomplish it. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow.
Take that!
That one! Oh, what? Wrong? Mr. Godoba, no games now, my word. Oh, Jesus! Console, where's the fun in life without a little footing along? I thought it's that one! Like when you are. Oh, that was a close shave. I'd better be rethinking that before the food here. Okay, so let's do the head one side and listen carefully. Hear me out. Well, your mother's not considered, but you know I was crying. I thought that one is a bit odd. The mother for listening has suggested. Oh. That one.
Take that!
Okay, there we go. Oh, that guy! Yeah! Oh, Michael Jackson in your face. It's the rule of passage in this film here. They're obviously out of place. The way with their hanging coat on the wall as if they were put in the room. Yes, and I'm sure you already confirmed. The frame was originally over here. The shape and size are perfectly matched. Duh, you are right. When did that film? Not me, the most observant of the crew, are you, Mr. Strong? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservation about your reliability. Oh dear, that really seems to have touched that. So, Mikoto, why don't you lift that frame off the way? That looks unbelievable. What? We'll be shooting what? I see, the projector had been removed. Clearly, the careful occupant in this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Strong. Oh, alright. I have the distinct impression that you are attempting to shield the said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I protect innocent stranger? Ah, so we're talking about the same, and I see. Good. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very notable evidence that explains the reason why you are lying off the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up with this business as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one. Ah, my dear Mikoto, simply keep first principles check. Study your subjects from every angle, and I'm quite sure you'll see. In fact, I'll put a wager on it. So I'm to glad the fellow outside. Why got to do that? Yes, me too. Oh, hello there.
Take that!
Hi, banknote. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. It's almost so obvious for words. Wait, the universal language of the word? Money! Oh. And I wager that the instant fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku. So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that the crime has been committed in this cabin, and the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But I believe you know, Mr. Stonewall. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this present moment in time. As always, Mr. Donovan, a matter of deduction, a few particularities of unfolding ally. Yes, I think you're onto something, Holmes. You found the clinkings in this bullet fellow's arm. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. A slight flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is very perceptible. You go all the very perceptible, Holmes. The man's turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as for the glasses, it's almost too obvious. We should let you so decide, my dear fellow.
Take that!
Is he hiding? Okay, time to get out. Thunder. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, did you? The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku is unable to escape from the ship in time. It is, at that very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside his trunk. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running out dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance on ourselves for so long. I think there will be everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. Well, oh wait, are you forgetting about the combination? We don't have the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure, of course. In short, before Jigoku had inserted the trunk, he must have told someone the 7-digit number for the lock. And I'm sure you can, Mr. Stone. No! I know nothing about combination lock. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Seaman? Oh. Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honor of open the... How honest do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have little time. Oh, the arm there. Let's see. If you turn it upside down, 5. I know the other number is okay. I think this one go to here first. 4, 5. Yeah, this one I can send. 3. So 3. 3. 1. Okay, here. This is. I don't see a 6, but 2. Is this the number? 5, 3.
Take that!
There we go. I thought it was 6, but I don't have 6. Click. Couldn't find the number. That did. That open. Yeah, the matter. Better than you meddling duo. Ah, ow. Well, Eugene, you found me now. Seishiro. I was really hoping beyond hope you not to find you here, you know. Or you're not entirely surprising, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it was some other way. Well, are you even going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes me, Mr. Holmes. I read your stories on many of your exploits. Even the far-fetched one, but yeah. Excuse my manners. Excuse my manners, Mr. Excuse my manners, Holmes. This is Mr. Jokugo, my old friend and chocolate companion. The devil in details. Mr. Kodo, I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here, on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yes, I since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you, 10 years ago now, mind you? And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the sim was postponed until goodness know when, it became all too apparent to me that I might be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me, am I? I'm afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confidence in you. It's somewhat surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class habits about luxury ships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So, says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care about your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket and here I am. I've seen it for myself, the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin, so you already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dolo, have you? If you find anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Huge. I have nothing to say to you. Well, I'm in new finance. This ship will set off in its own onward voyage and not make port again in no time. In a way, we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We may have this issue. Sorry. Take it. What is this? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're the man of law. You know what the ramification of ignoring a document like this from the British court would be. You came prepared then, Eugene. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Mr. Holmes? Sorry. Is it Holmes? Inside Mr. Jikoku's trunk. I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is that, Seishiro? I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small compartment from something. But what? I have no idea. By the look of his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir on our beliefs sojourn to France. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on your shoulders of you and your assistant. Third November, 12:10 p.m. The Old Bailey Court. Kazuma Asori, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie, but still, there's no doubt that you are holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 days, while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Joko's whereabouts could not be assessed. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There is no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Objection!
No, the trial cannot end now. You're Japanese, my Ryunosuke. You should know where to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume where the battle is won. The court has already presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony, and there can be only one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There is still a crucial witness, from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku, the very man alleged murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku, you found him? But the investigation of every policy resource in the capital suggests that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess, at the port of Durkin. Thanks to one of Mr. Sherlock Holmes' famous induction, Sherlock Holmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death, because along with Prosecutor Asori, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grossi on the 31st October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to an adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. The court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side? No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. And my skin out here. To be continued. Well, I think we still got a bit of time, so let's try continue further. Hopefully there's some investigation on that side. Wait, now try and take a drink first. The unexpected halt of the proceedings sends a clamour around the courtroom, while outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Holmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. 3rd November, 8:00 p.m. Holmes Street. Hey, there's a chick. Hey, there's a wine, pie, chicken or turkey. That's not bad. We have returned, my dear fellow. Welcome back to Britain, and thanks to your timely help. Think not of it. I believe you had an even more wearing day identical to mine than I. No? You could say that we were on a brink of defeat in the court earlier. So this prosecutor Asori had you on the ropes, did he? He's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kazuma's changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, it's incredible to think he'd even entered the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I only met the young man as a corpse. When all this started, almost a year now. Mr. Holmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then, about the motivation of what he himself described as a great detective's life. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it is another country, Mr. Holmes. So, what news of Judge Jigoku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there had a lot of questions for them. Oh, Mr. Makoto, that must be quite a shock for you. Ah, yes. I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Holmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and put the bill as well. Oh, you have a reply already? What was so urgent though, Mr. Holmes? Such matters can wait until I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Oh, come on, really now? Well, thank goodness, because supper is ready, everyone. Ah, and what a pizza. We were none the wiser either. I think the 1201 already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak and kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding. Tomorrow's will be a very long day, so eat up. In that case, I think I've seen myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasants as well. Oh, sorry, Hurley, not yet. Huh? Why even not? Are we in said place this evening? Yes, and that place is for Sissy Daddy. For me? That's right. I made especially for you, Professor Mickey. Professor Mickey. I see. Well, that's very kind of you, but please, if you know also to Disney Mouth, please do not have any copyrights right on it, okay? It's a shame, really. What do you mean? Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were. What? You mean it's not? Oh. Iris, do you mean? Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened to the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I left. What? What? Oh, ow, no. Mind the pheasant. The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. Well, actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Watson nor Professor Mikotobo are Iris' father. What? Yes, about that, Iris. You know I know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by the way an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. Oh, no, that's quite alright. Then why don't I get the apology? Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? So just who is Iris' father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. So then, let us dine, while our large pheasants plate are still piping hot. A fine idea, Holmes. Yes, all look to absolute village. Eat as much as you like, there are always seconds. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial about that telegram from Japan and about Kazuha. I can't let the opportunity slip away. Why are you sitting like that? Anything new on the board? Oh, nothing. It's pepper as well. Yeah, I think I've read this thing. Never mind. It doesn't have anything interesting here. Don't look at me like that. Oh, I'm going back to the room. Well, I think there's most of the stuff, but let's look at the big fat chicken. Roast beef, kippers, stews, steak and kidney pie, Yorkshire's pudding. It all looks mouth-watering good. Indeed it does, and if we were accompanied by even a more serve of pheasant, it would be a perfection. You still on that? Oh, This really does look a peaceful celebrating within court. Or indeed, for drowning one's sorrows deep after the sorrows. Sorry. Wait, what's it? Or indeed, for drowning one's souls after defeat. I hope you won't refrain to the child tomorrow in sorrows. He is clearly still in mourning over that present at the moment. Mr. Holmes, what are you doing? Surely it's an abundant clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his present with me. Nevertheless, I feel the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Sorry, honey, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy. Even though I played the role of father to you for far longer. Mr. Holmes, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow, I find myself quite in the mood for a bout of conversation. No doubt. You're hungry to learn more my deep love of the game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that fashion? In what fashion? Yeah. It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasantly matter to discuss. We got anything here? Ah, yes, we got. Okay. Following the departure of the pod of crew member are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. in order to review evacuation procedure. The drill will take 20 minutes. We need to resume duties as soon as the drill is over. And this one. You see these large things all over the place, don't you? It's the part of the top of octopus that you twist to set the timers in. It's called a crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without a crown, like what sits on top of the monarch's head as furniture. That's a very grand name for such a tiny part. Actually, yes, Mr. Naruhodo, with this account, I have a feeling I might have seen the monarch around here somewhere. And if my monarch in this octopus, I'm quite sure I have. Wait, let's go back to the watch then. What do you think, Mr. Suter? I feel sure I know exactly what fits with you. Really? I was just thinking it's precisely the same thing. We're about to see that little round compartment. It's actually part of Inspector Greyson's broken paperwork. Really? I was just thinking that precisely that too. Perfect fit. I knew it. Alright, perhaps you knew it. I'm making note of this new information at once. Wait, what's this? Alright. Okay. The telegram from Japan. So, what was in the telegram you received back in Japan? Ah, yes. I think my lucky stars it arrived in time. Records found as indicated. Duplicate photos. K. Asogi, Ashin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. What? Those four names? We've come across the exact same list before. They came up in the unforgettable case last spring. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be a massive monumental intrigue. A plot that involves the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of message. K. Osogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson, but we didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now? Yes, where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Holmes? I have here the message I wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expected to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names needed by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clientelising mission to this nation. You ask, is there the Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you? And in my name, I wonder what guys he opted for this time. My dear fellas, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand? Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office, as Holmes predicted. So you mean that mysterious collection of names just was sent from Britain to Japanese was sent to Judge Jigoku? It was the intended receptive. I don't believe it. But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually significant. I did formulate a hypothesis about that, but without a shredded evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Holmes looks deadly serious for once. A telegram. Okay, that tragedy we had to go through on the SS Korea. It was all for nothing. Kozumo wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lies you told us, your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the event that transpired to see if he was sent back to Japan. His remains, you mean? Precisely, Mr. Sisto. And then I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Wait, in his stead? Oh, why, you mean? The arrangement between our two countries were already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accompanied on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Sazoe, I would successfully prevented the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all aided to stop Kazuma from coming to Britain? Then that's why you... Think back, Miss Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue the... Sorry, was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Osogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid that study tour will no longer go ahead. My dear fellows, the majority of the problem had an extremely simple solution, you know? All you require is one lawyer and the study tour can continue surely. But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Holmes. We know of no other lawyer. The voyage to London is still promising a good amount of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourself another suitable lawyer. So, you manipulate me? I often remark on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. But if it was all contrived, I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose to become of her? Naturally, I didn't allow that misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Mr. Suto and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America again. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Holmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain? The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see? Oh? An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of tragedy that already existed a year ago is close at my hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Holmes knows. Maybe I should present this thing? There was no room or doubt of further instruction in this telegram, Mr. Holmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Goku's office that you should be searched. You obviously knew that that's where the list of names would be found. K. Asogi, Ashin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we will only learn those four names just over 6 months ago, and only because they appear as part of the top secret government communication that were leaked. That's true, yes. But at that time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those four names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year, in fact, when you were both still in Japan. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets, because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communication between the British and Japanese government. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Sherlock Holmes, where he has designed unknowing. Oh my, Mr. Holmes, what a fabulous line! Now, 1 month after this list of four names was wired to the receipt in Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Watson was murdered. What? Hold on. One month after the list of four names was wired to the... As soon as I learned the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partially correct and partially mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow. Mr. Holmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us all the four names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Watson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those four names because you see, there was someone else on the list who was believed to be recently deceased. What? Who? Jin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script, in actual fact, Miss Assassin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Watson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining two persons on the list. K. Asoni and T. Gregson. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. I determined it would be safest if younger Asoni were to stay away from Britain. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Exactly. So, you already knew who Kazuma-san was, Mr. Holmes? Oh yes. Holmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I recall many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Watkins then, of course. Oh shit. So, Dr. Watson is dead then? I didn't know. Oh, Iris. I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That was very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the snippet of the name was wrong. We just concluded couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No. But what you just told us, Mr. Holmes, doesn't comply ties with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis. Big hole, Mrs. Ronaldo? Ah, yes. You mean about Assassin, I presume? Oh, of course. Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my fellow, but I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. Huh? And upon hearing that something revelation, the hypothesis I formed surrounding those four names was completely turned topsy. Topsy? Topsy hypothesis. What do you mean by would say hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Holmes? I had to leave all four names on the list had to be names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Assassin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed, and it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching the Watson. Both visiting student status being merely a fact. Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her action. So the real reason Dr. was killed by Sashin is because she was the target of an assassination. And forearmed with the knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list of very different perspective. What do you mean? Well, does it not strike you? There is another among the four who subsequently become a visiting student. Wait, you mean? But of course, a name you all know only too well. You mean Kazuma? Oh, he did say he in court earlier today. Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Duncan. Not for Halloween, but in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was the assassination of the monk. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now. June 9. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sort, an international agreement of one night stand, leading an assassin exchange. As an assassin exchange, how could Kazuma possibly got involved in something like that? Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parts then make a contract to swap their respective assassination target. There will have been an assassin exchange. So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan where she kills the target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange. But what on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to the diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh yes! Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact that it was brought into place suggests intervention at the very highest level. These murders were two-sided at the same time, linked not by a common motive, but by controversial agreement, and such deal appeared unrelated. Yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one single deadly scheme. That this association and safeguard of the community were, I believe, the motivation behind this crime. But wait, Mr. Holmes. This telegram is really describing the exchange of assassins, as you suggested. It would mean that the Japanese killer was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean also this killer was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma was here for Gregson? So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually there? Yes, that's exactly what you mean. I hold myself personally responsible for the failing to keep the inspector safe. Mr. Holmes, I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position, obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Grayson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition, that he'd be transferred to Paris Police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment scene, and sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in. Alright everyone, that's quite enough for a less serious talk for one day. Isn't that early? I mean, look at the time. Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparation for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to the hotel room now. This has been certainly a night to remember. Yes, a little bit sad though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie will be my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. Well, at least I don't need to ask my dad. I know, Iris. I was thinking of quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, we have a question. So, you teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the ball. No! Don't use Holmes. Yes, of course, it will be my pleasure. You didn't have to wait quite so readily. Oh, but wait a minute. If this is going to be my big sister, you can be my big brother if you want, Runo. Huh? Just cause you have me, I gotta be your brother. Hey then, Iris, you must always be mindful of feelings. I raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Right, I'm going to go extra hard work tomorrow now, because for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? You just have to wait and see. Oh. Good luck in the courtroom tomorrow. I'm expecting a stunning performance. I'll do my very best, of course. So, the overnight break in the trial proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths while posing a new conundrum. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I feel as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness of all self, but at the same time, I was sure I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly with me. Okay. I have some ideas before. Instead of stopping here for today, since I think I still got a bit more time. And knowing that this case is going to be very long, so I have an idea on doing that thing. Well, instead of trying to stop here, how about we just find out who's the killer? Because since this is the final case, I don't think I have a feeling that this is going to be very long, so I can stop halfway. So we have part 1 and part 2 like that. So anyways, without further ado, let's resume. One more time. 4th November, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey Court. We're back here again with no introduction whatsoever. So you know what? Screw that. Before we begin today, I have a brief announcement. As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings. The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organization illegally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected young explorer was at his heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot. Well, I will say to all members of the judiciary here present on this occasion that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. God, I miss the pages behind me. But anyways, councils, you will undertake this trial with the resolve to pursue the truth up to the bitter end. Resolve, yes. That's my intention. My lord, if I may inquire, the defendant may speak. On what grounds is Kazuma also permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor? He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution. I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart, requesting that the judgment of my transgression be delayed by 1 day. You did what? In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years had all been leading up to this 1 day. Kazuma, whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper. Someone is bristling with hostility today. I get the distinct impression we're heading to a very dangerous territory. Is that really even Kazuma's son set before us? As a extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecution's request. The defense finds this acceptable, and I presume... Yes, my lord. In that case, in the name of Her Majesty, I hereby declare the court be in session again. We resume the closed hearing. Opera von Zietz. The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough. Prosecutor also. Begin. As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to stand. Brings Seishiro Jigoku into the court. At last then, we reach the final battle. He's putting literally everything on the line now in order to get through the truth. Come on, Ryunosuke, it's time for the steering result because this is going to test to the limit. Test to the limit. So, let us state your name and occupation for the court. Huh. So it was you who issued this, was it? Your subpoena. I did what was necessary. Huh. Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you take the tone with me, say. Operators will ensure these responses are pertinent to the question asked. My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan. 16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. I am of course fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent work. I invite him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japan Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. It was a great honor to be involved in the negotiation. I put my all into that treaty. Shachikobu, I must ask. Well, I never fancy the young murdering student turning up here of all places. You're acquainting me yourself, and now I'm the practicing defense lawyer. Yes, and I'm full of self-defense like your friend proposed to come. I see. You came here in London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France. Took flight? I have to object to that turn of phrase. Then explain yourself. What exactly were the circumstances? Well, I was somewhat expecting this, and I'm sorry to say, I decline to comment. What? Leaving the country prematurely when I was an invited guest may be questionable etiquette, but my decision is unrelated to the case, where I can't be bound to testify. Unrelated, you say? I appreciate that the respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien, I obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him. As such, I'm in no position to testify. This is simple as that. So you would run all this. I beg your pardon? This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has tied to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago. A year ago in Japan. The murder of Dr. John H. Watson. That's right, and you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases. The defense has evidence to prove it. Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the looks of your eyes that you are resolved to carry this through the barrier. Let's see your evidence then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case? Oh, it's something that I got from Japan.
Take that!
This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contains 4 names: K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. Hold it! You little... Where do you get that? In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jigoku. What? How on earth did you... What's this all about? Why is my name on the list? The list of the 4 names follow a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of the victim. K. Asogi and A. Shin are names of the assassins. A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Watson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital. The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Grant, but her real name was Asa Sin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain. Asa Shin and her victim J. Wilson. And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart of that crime. The assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British Police Inspector Tobias Gregson. K. Asogi and T. Gregson, one assassin from each country to kill another target residing in the other. What exactly is the defense suggesting? These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a former assassin exchange, and the telegram in the defense acquired is proof of this international contract to kill. What? The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jigoku. In other words, these mastermind The mastermind in Japan was you! Judge Kogu? What is this all about? And you, Kazuma, you lied. During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you accepted the assassin mission, but the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard, and shown by the name on the killing contract. Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't know. The names of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday. The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you. Huh? You deliberately avoided saying her name? The defense claims these four names indicate some sort of international assassin exchange. I'm sure I'll speak for all present when I say that the very idea seems utterly absurd. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself? The silence only goes to prove his guilt. There's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's now a distinct possibility that the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness cabin aboard the SS Gross. Judge Jigoku, you have to testify. To refuse will put you in contempt of court. There is no need for quite such a vicious stare, young man. Very well then. As a parting gift for you all, I'll tell you everything I know. It seems this Japanese gentleman has information that the court must hear about the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of the 31st October. Present your formal testimony now. As you wish, my lord. Witness testimony. It's true that Kazuma Ryunosuke was assigned to the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British creditor. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin all the time. If there be a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it so clearly I can't have been involved. Oh, really? So you admitted then, as this communication suggests, that really was an assassin exchange arrangement between British and Japan. A political endeavor at the highest level, not something I can discuss here. To use such a worthy practice as a foreign student to coerce somebody to commit murder is the most appalling I ever heard. Appalling? Well, it's easy to judge. Pardon? A soldier has a reason for taking his sword to the British expector, you know? What? Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, counsel? Kazuma-sama. Judge Jigoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain. I'm not obliged to divulge in that information. As I said yesterday, I killed nobody. I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassin exchange that the defense had identified is unrelated to the events of this case. The crucial point is this: your police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship Ryunosuke, because if he'd been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that the member of the crew would have heard it. That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to life in the room of Francisco Street. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, where everyone sees. The prosecution exclusively remains unchanged. To think that a seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such machiavellian million dealings. Clearly, it's a plot on only a government ministry and high-ranked judge such as the witness could hope to execute. Well, it seems I recall that it was someone on the British side who is controlling everything. Be that as may, it is not the place or the court to pursue this villainous assassination exchange plot. We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson. Is the defense clear on that point, counsel? Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness. Yeah, about that. Hold on. On the evening in question, around. Yeah, but. However. Wait, I tried to save first just in case I screw this up. Yeah, what about this one?
Objection!
Yeah, but the guy was out for 20 minutes. Yes, as the court heard, there was a crewman posted outside Judge Jigoku's cabin. However, you can be sure that, contrary to the witness' claim, the guy wasn't there at all times. What? I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st. What? Where did you get that? It's evidence gathered by Mr. Sherlock Holmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember. Sherlock Holmes again? Damn you! According to this interior, after leaving the port of Durkin exactly 10 p.m. and for a period of 20 minutes, all crewmen of the SS Grove were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill. All crewmen were away from their post, and during that 20 minutes interview, of course, any gunshot emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one. In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime.
Objection!
A 20-minute window of opportunity. That's an excellent fine, but it almost amounts to nothing. Why? Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident occurred in his cabin, unless you have some decisive evidence that can show his testimony to be false. Your accusation is nothing more than conjecture. Very true. Well, counsel? Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin that night, and certainly because the defense has the evidence to prove it. You will present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel. What proof do you have that the victim's life was taken in Jigoku's cabin on the 31st October?
Take that!
This one. Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday. What is this? A crown of a pocket watch? A pocket watch? And if you observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know is treasured, is missing precious in that part. The economy. Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle port today from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch was almost certainly broken there. In other words, the victim killed on the 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill in this cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku. Wait, you killed him? Wow. Okay. You're razor sharp, aren't you? You're young. You're young. Are you going to call me a young murderer after you acquainted me?
Objection!
Expertly maneuvered, Ryunosuke. And your argument sounds entirely possible at first, but rather like this player is full of cracks. What? And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way. I was wrong to acquaint you earlier in the year. Sorry? If I know that you will result in anyone having listened to this drivel, I would have declared you guilty on just as bad over your ridiculous bomb boss. Oh, fuck you! I think it's clear that the witness will have to give full testimony. Well, when you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, you will notice the pitfall into which you stumbled. Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge that he was there, I presume. Yes, I do. Very well, then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony about what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of the 31st October. Of course. As the man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice. I had a guest waiting for me when I returned into my cabin after finishing my evening dinner in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a most still Englishman was there, fully waving a gun at me. I soon took care of him with an Ippon Seishiro, though he couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. He had nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed, having returned because his body was found in London. Ippon said, "What the a common jujitsu martial arts technique in my country. You know, I told one guy a couple of months ago, so I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too hard for his watch to take. So, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you?" "What?" "The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin in no way proves that the victim's murder took place there. I've no doubt that the inspector intended to kill me, but he didn't manage to pull the trigger. Yes, because he was merely a tactician, not the reaper's hand of death. Well, the testimony appears to make the sense as far as I can tell. Let me express my deep gratitude to you. We all understand my law. But if this testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be deemed to have no involvement in the case. Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time before a cross-examination. Sorry, my lord. The defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that. Your embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beat. In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo. My god, okay, so this guy is this guy's a killer. God damn it. No wonder we got the old judge that many years later. Okay.
Hold it!
Because the so-called guard posting at your cabin door had just let your killer pass me. Apparently, Gregson told the crewman he was a police inspector, which he was true, of course. He didn't have his identification with him, though. He had his shrimp coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. Fish and chips, you mean? But I imagine the crewman was convinced. But the man accompanying him would have two swords slung around his waist. I mean, me. Who else? Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of few swords might set off alarm bells in the god's head. The point is, I left the cabin before the captain returned and immediately disembarked the ship. Certainly, all I can tell you is that only the inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back in my cabin. And you entered it without anything of suspicious. That's right. None whatsoever.
Hold it!
Obviously, we are talking about Inspector Gregson. Yes, although the time I didn't know the man's name. Yeah, for now I have to press further to know what's going on, so at least I know what to do. But anyways, moving on. And there was no time for interruption. I value my life over manners. By which you mean that the inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose. That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction. I never see the muzzle of a revolver shaken about so much in all my life. Anyone would think the man had never shot someone before. Believe it or not, most of us haven't. Anyways, there was no time for call for help of the crewman at the door, so I dealt with the man myself.
Hold it!
Even though the man has a gun, that was a very brave move, wasn't it? My earphone sale is far faster than the bullet, I can show you. But surely all the commotion causes the crewman to come in, didn't it? Yes, of course. He burst in immediately without knocking. Then the inspector hurled himself at the stocky fellow, and just managed to slip past him to make his escape. The outstanding guard does it again. Luckily, there aren't any men in situations I can't get out of using a quick equal sale throw.
Hold it!
The crown snapped off at the glass covering the face of the watcher was cracked. Preferably to the man's head being pulled off or his spine cracking, would you say? Not at the time the man was spared hollow, a bullet to the chest soon saw that too. But the point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that the murder took place. No, absolutely not. All the watch proves there is the power of my jujutsu throw. Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in the cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in your wall. What are you talking about? That's where the stars of your low-brow detective stories told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction. Haven't you worked out, Yajaira, you little stripling? No murder took place in my cabin.
Hold it!
But there's no evidence that proved that the victim ever returned to London alive. Just take a moment to think that the idea of yours too was tripling. What? If the inspector was killed on the steamship in France, how on earth would he have gone back to Britain? When people die, their bodies remain at the same spot. It's a double of a thing. Well, then obviously the culprit must have moved to the body. How exactly? Having the corpse of the ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think? Well, yes, that's true, but all passengers' luggage is inspected when it is unloaded for arriving vessels. I would like to think the border police would treat the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage. If the murder has taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed at the sea. There would be no sense of risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain. That's killed, and that killed that I didn't. But perhaps not. Mr. Sato, we heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewman posted to guard them, which would mean that Papa has no opportunity to dispose the body at sea. Yes, that's true, so transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative. Ruby, you really are new to this, aren't you? I thought I'd be perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain in words to understand. I think I ought to alter my chance. That's why we are constant, of course. I have no objections. State your amendment, says no one. There is no possible way I could transport the body with. Wait, what about the luggage that you carry? So first, I mean, this one. What about this one that you carry, the big thing?
Objection!
There you carry the damn thing, didn't you? There's no possible that you could remove Inspector Gregson's body, you say? I would say that the opposite is true. And what's that supposed to mean? Far from being impossible for you to do, is the is transporting the transporting of Inspector Grayson's body back to Britain is only something only you can do. What are you talking about, Ryunosuke? As well as being the judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, which means he's exempted for having his luggage searched when he's entered the country. Hmm? We learned that when we first met upon your arrival in London. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took a rather long time. I must say, I'm very impressed for your minister status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Oh, I knew you were jealous. Look, I got you the first class here, so don't mind. I presume you call this Judge Jigoku. It's a photograph we took in the foyer at the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court noted, you have reviewed your large sorry. As the court will note, you have reviewed your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside. Miss Nell, surely you're not suggesting... I'm afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel, the body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us, inside Judge Jigoku's trunk. Order in the court. Inspector Gongsa, that's a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk. It could. Because I happen to know that the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple. Would you need Judge Jigoku? But inside his trunk, how are you crying? And after we'd spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apartment scene on Francis Street. Taking your trunk with you in a cab, we deposit the inspector's body. But don't have to listen to this nonsense. Dr. Gory, the coroner who examined the body, had confirmed the possibility. She acknowledges there are signs that steps may have been taken in She acknowledges there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. The onset of the body decomposition could have been delayed by storing it in the refrigerator. Counter, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far between. Yes, I'm sure they are. But one place they're certainly found is on a large ocean line. Such ships are equipped with electrical refrigerators, cold room to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages, and the SS Gory is no exception. Professor Ikotoba told me about it only yesterday. Well, Judge Jigoku? However, much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer. Well, this is all very heartening. I can see that it was a wise move letting Asogi and you embark on this study tour. What are you talking about now? Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you both laid firm foundation for that already. Judge Jigoku, please stop defending the attention from the issue at hand. The defense had made an accusation against you. How could you respond? Response? There's really no need for me to respond, is there? Why ever not? Because before you can even begin to answer the question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical. The actual scene of the crime. The prosecution's stance is out that the killing took place in Francis Street where the gunshot was heard. As an excuse, Baron Ziggs shot the victim at point blank range. Since no tangible evidence exists to support the prosecution claim at this time, the defense deduced among the little more than elaborate fairy tale. I'm afraid that's how the logical reasoning. The British are known for really works, young stripling. The victim was shot in the little round of Francis Street and died instantly. I'm afraid it's the prosecution claim that is only fairy tale here. How can we say that? Quite simply, because the claim directly contradicts a certain piece of evidence in his possession. Very tangible counsel, I think you better explain yourself to the court, will you? The prosecution claims that Inspector Case died instantly when he was shot at the scene of Francis Street. But this evidence contradicts this claim. You mean this one?
Take that!
A photograph of the victim in the very location claimed he was killed. Yes, but the point is the parts of the body itself. If Inspector Gregson had been shot there and in that room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up like a ball like that. Objection. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed. He could easily have adopted the photo position due to the aim of the shot which subsequently took place.
Objection!
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Jigoku, but it's your logic is flawed. What? According to this autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have feel no pain, much less than be able to draw himself in that position. Oh! Which begs the question of why the victim's body is curled up in that way. So an answer should be abundantly clear by now. You're suggesting the inspector's body took on a position ahead of his arrival on Francis Street before it was coldly turned out on the floor from the inside of the large travel truck. No, you're quite right. The shape of the body looks exactly as if it being kept inside a confined space. Judge Jigoku, I present your trunk for examination. I believe it's very possible it contains traces of the victim's blood. Oh. Present my trunk, I refuse. What? On what grounds? I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Empire of Japan. I shouldn't have put up with this treatment just because of some stripling's business accusation. In other words, Judge Jigoku, there is blood in your trunk. I decline to answer that. As a Minister of Foreign Affairs, I have privilege that allows you to. At this moment, you are not a government minister. You are a witness in the trial in the British highest court. I don't care who you are or what your status outside this court might be. You will not withhold information. Nothing is more important than truth. Order in the court. Well, Mr. Cole, what is to be? You can't be serious. You did it? Have you no shame at me at all, Kazuma Osogi? What? Very well then, I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body into the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense. What? Dear God, outrageous, so was you? The inspector goes, no, I admit to nothing more than what I said. Of killing the man, I simply had no recollection. What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to be? I merely disposed of the inspector body, which was left in my cabin, in order to avoid unwanted attention. As a judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. So, I decided my only option was to bring it to Britain with me and dispose it of somewhere else. You can't still deny if you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man? As you know, there is one other person in my cabin at night. He had the opportunity. And moreover, he already accepted a mission to kill the inspector's life. Oh, That's right, who else could it be? It was you, Kazuma Sogi. You. I want him to take the blame, is it? I never thought you stood this low, Seishiro Jigoku. You've taken the words straight out of my mouth. Prosecutor Kazumi Asogi. You thought by leaving the boy in my cabin you could pin the crime on me, didn't you? Well, the prosecution counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness's cabin on the night in question. Yes, on an assassination mission, no less. You wouldn't. So, what do you make of that, young stripling? You heard my testimony now, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I meant nothing. I can't believe this. Yeah, this guy is a piece of shit. Yeah, that guy is trying to save his own skin. Counsel for the defense. What is your position now? The court awaits your response to the witness assertion. The assertion on that night in question, the victim's assailer was Mr. Kazuma Sogi. This isn't a dead end, it seems to be. The answer's right in front of me. It comes down to Jigoku or Kazuma. Both then had the opportunity to kill Gregson, but only one of them did. And I'm just a step away from proving who. Very well, the defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forth by Judge Jigoku. The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by a person is impossible. Judge Jigoku, let me remind you of something that you said only a few minutes ago. You claim that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process. It is, no question. Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Namely, it would have been impossible for prosecutor Asogi to commit the crime. Cue the music. What? The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence. So based on what you have, counsel, the proof is that the alleged demonstration that the impossibility of prosecutor Asogi involvement. Oh, I got one.
Take that!
This is the iterate with the crew members of the SS Road, my lord. This is conclusive proof. An iterate? How does that prevent it? Judge Jigoku, the moment you acknowledge that you found the victim's body in your cabin, this itinerary suddenly became much more significant. What? Why? On the night in question, as always, the crewman sentry was on guard outside your cabin. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin. Absolutely, because it's inconceivable that the guy wouldn't have heard it and come to investigate. So that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere. And that narrows down to the 20 minutes just after 10 o'clock, as indicated on the itinerary. Yes, I see no forceful reason so far. But the crucial point is this. When the evacuation drill took place, the steamship had already put to sea from the port of Duncan. Now, clearly the murder could only have been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. Prosecutor Asogi stated in the yesterday's proceeding, I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. So I spent the night at the boarding house in town and returned to England the following morning. Which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof that Kazuma Sogi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing.
Oh, damn it!
Hold it! Wait, no! No, absolutely not. I don't accept that at all. What do you mean? The boy's just saying that to exterminate himself. We can't trust that he really disembarked the vessel. Obviously, after he left my carriage here, hid himself somewhere nearby the ship, just waiting before he's trying to come back and
Objection!
What? No, that's not the question. Isn't it, Kazuma? As the defense rightly reports, I disembarked the vessel and spent the night at the boarding house in Duncan. As I said yesterday, I signed my name in the accommodation register book. all extremely easy to verify and deny proof. Oh, no, wait. There's no escape this time. You can forget that you're a judge or government minister. Isn't that it's time you gave the court an honest as a common man? Oh, you killed Inspector Tobias and transported his corpse back to Britain. Then you dumped the body in the room of Francis Yu and made it look as if the murder had happened here. That's what really happened, isn't it? Seishiro Jigoku? No. It was a damn fraud 10 years ago. That's when all it begins. Break it down! Looking back now, my fate was decided that day. I was doomed already. Damn this! I'm a power compelled. It's over, my life, it's over. Wow, gravity falls. A British assassin to eliminate a professor in Japan. A Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain. Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade conviction and return safely to their homelands. The assassin exchange requested arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. Though it was hardly a request, it was a demand. And for that, you decided to recruit Mr. Asogi. But things didn't go out as planned. You chose assassin. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain, and you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement because I was already on my way to Britain at the time in Kazuma's place. That left me with only one option for carrying out my obligation: eliminate the mob myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that: the International Forest Science Symposium, I presume. That's right. I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain, so I enlisted the help of my British counterpart and made arrangement for the pretext that he would take the inspector to Durkin. To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper. What? The Reaper? But there's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation. The Reaper himself. Ah, so that means that the assassin exchange was all planned by the Reaper? Not at the liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Anyways, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on a steamship. It was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death. Oh, how awful. It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness. But there was a guard just outside the door, so I left it as that for the time being. Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicious, so I beat my time waiting. For the 20 minutes after 10 o'clock, I intended to finish my strangulation. The moment before I had a chance, he suddenly came around and went for me in a reckless way. I received the British issue gun 16 years ago earlier, being a member of Jaeger as a business student. I never imagined I had to use it for something like that. So the revolver belonged to you, does it? Then the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Ghost, which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room of Francisco. The young judicial assistant over there had already answered that question. There was no way I could take the body up on deck to throw it over the sea. That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first class cabin centralized returned, I took the corpse to the refrigerator room. And then on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the port police. I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced when the body was found in London. In that case, you must have known. You must have have intimidated details on Inspector Grayson's intense schedule. Yes, my British counterpart sent me everything I need to know. Okay, I think I have to kind of see the feeling that his British counterpart must be the male strong heart up there. The inspector was due to find succeed at 5 o'clock after. Otherwise, how the hell could predict this kind of sort? So it must be here. But again, this will be in part 2. In order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Brooks, from whom he would take back his voice identification. Huh? I decided the man would be the perfect person to set up as a couple, so I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in the trunk. That must have been just after we took this photo with you at our hotel there. Yes, I wasn't expecting a welcome committee. I was more a little. On Francis Street, I spotted a young girl selling a little firecrackers. Venus. Miss Venus, of course. I conceived of a candle trip there, and then saw I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to create a gun shop. What sort of disguise? For some reason, the inspector had a birthday headpiece in his own traveling case, so I put it that way, although I suspect I drew more attention to myself than I would have otherwise. The headpiece we found at the scene. Inspector had it ready for the red-headed leaf investigation. I only arrived at the room around 4:45, so I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved to the notice board, and set on my little candle trip. I arranged it so the firecracker could go off with a bang around 50 minutes later, so that Mr. Bill, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into the trap. Except at the last moment, I made a careless blunder. What was that? I imagine it was the bag of fish and chips. I didn't notice that it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the room. I put it back into his pocket the following morning, but, well, it seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish. Anyways, that's everything. All the sordid details of what I did. I've heard enough. We've arrived the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. The witness will be tried in the coming days. For a crime of such vile nature, you can expect the most severe punishment. An exchange of assassins. What a foolhardy idea. Mr. Jigoku, one last detail. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the exchange? Nothing you can say now can make matters any worse for you. Just tell us. Enough! I've already told you that I cannot say. Even though as things stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again. What are you waiting for? Can we get this over with now? It's finished. All of it. I'm finished. Then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the finding of this court. This man before us had admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson. Final! You're guilty. Seishiro Jigoku, it is the opinion of the court that you should be found guilty! And I may remind all those present in the strict confidential demand by this close court. It's not over, is it? Almost ago, Mr. Jigoku signed a written confession admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveying of the body. In short, the defendant innocent had of being established beyond doubt, and we really managed to fix the stand again. Oh, wonderful. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, thank you. Is something wrong? I'm just a little troubled by his silence. The true identity of the Reaper of the Bay, and this extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about these mysteries, however. Insofar as the indecent plot against the defenders in this trial, we have reached a conclusion. I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries as a prosecutor. As you wish. Now, for the formal adjudication, I hereby declare defendant Baron von Zeeks.
Objection!
Oh, there we go. Prosecution calls for adjudication to be deferred. Counsel? The accusation innocent hasn't been fully established at all, and therefore it would then be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That is the prosecution's unwavering position. What? But Judge Jigoku has already confessed. Nevertheless, Baron von Zeeks has committed crimes for which he must be punished. Well, it will appear to your information that court needs to hear Prosecutor Osori, the murder of Inspector Gregson and mentally carried by Seishiro Jigoku. But it's clear from the witness testimony that he was in complying with plot into the sick, merciless assassin exchange. That may be true, but so what I want to know is who coerced Jigoku, who was pulling the strings? The victim went to France having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper only being murdered. In other words, the mastermind behind the assassin exchange someone in this position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself. Well, certainly, that will appear to fall. The prosecution hereby formally accused the man in dock, Baron von Zeeks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey, and furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. What? Oh. Order! The Reaper of the Bailey is a long-standing mystery. Counsel, are you suggesting you have some new information which build a case? After the episode, investigate what one is very telling in that regard, and if no evidence whatsoever, it's substantiated the claim that he is the Reaper. Perhaps, but circumstances have now changed. What do you mean? It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with Jigoku by the Reaper itself, which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify differently the man's identity. That is the prosecution's intention here. I must say I'm surprised by quite how tenuously you appear to want to release my claim. You are guilty of an unforgiving crime, von Zeeks, and I will bring you justice for it, whatever it takes. As explains how you must silence before. You will stop at nothing to finish what Lord Zeeks and would he started 10 years ago. Very well. While it's extremely irregular, I will on this occasion grant prosecutor further opportunity for this witness testimony. The defense will disclose at all involvement he has with the Reaper assassin exchange. I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely. Okay, at this point, I think we're going to go to the second round. So, I'm going to stop here for now. That's it. And we're going to continue part 2 in another day. But that part 2 will be the finale of it. So anyways, for those who are watching, if you like this video, give a like and subscribe. So one more time, this is Andrew, signing off. See you next time. Causing recess.